The best place to live as a digital nomad in 2024. Now guys, I'm sitting here in beautiful Medellin on my balcony and loving life. But before jumping into why Medellin is so good and why it's perfect for you as a digital nomad in 2024, I'm gonna go back a couple of years because I've just spent the last 2 years living in Bali. Now, I'll make a different video about Bali, but Bali is absolutely incredible. There's so many co-working spaces, you've got cafes, restaurants, there's so many digital nomads, entrepreneurs, and it's a great place to network and socialize. It's probably one of the best places in the world. Now, why am I talking about Bali right now? Because if you are working Australian hours and you have your clients in Australia, it's probably a very good option for you. But if you're like most of us and we work Eastern hours, unfortunately, Bali is definitely not the place because I was working like 9 in the evening until 5 in the morning. So now I'm here in Medellin. So I've been here now for the last 2 months and it's been absolutely incredible. Not just because it's the most amazing city I've ever been to. So many activities, there's so many digital nomads and there's so many entrepreneurs making real money. In Bali, I just felt like some people were making or pretending to make money. When Medellin, you do have very, very high level individuals making a lot of money. So I got here 2 months ago and I moved in for the first 2 weeks into a co-working, co-living space. It's called King Living. That's where I am now on the balcony. And why did I move into a co-working, co-living space? It's because there's entrepreneurs here, there's digital nomads, and it's a great place to network, socialize, meet people, and level up. The amount of connections you can find here is incredible. So me, for example, I'm a high ticket closer and I thought, right, how can I level up? How can I find more opportunities? How can I make more money? So the rule number 1 is you need to get really good at communication, which you should be if you're a high ticket closer, and network. Networking can make you so much money. And I talk about this all the time. It doesn't matter how good you are at communicating, how good are you at networking, socializing, and building up relationships. So first 2 weeks in here, King Living, met so many great people. And then for 4 weeks after that, I moved into a entrepreneur house. Now this is an experience that I've never experienced in my life. It's a group of entrepreneurs in one house, all on one mission, and that is to become the best version of yourself and to level up professionally. So we all had certain tasks, certain duties, certain responsibilities, keeping each other accountable to level up. Now, from that, we actually created the Nomadic Closer house, which I'm going to make a different video for that as well. But why am I making this video is because if you really want to level up, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to get out of the environment of being stuck in the 4 walls that you're stuck in at the moment. Because if you're like me, there was a point where I was just living at my parents' house, waking up, rolling out of bed, jumping on Zoom calls, making deals, making money, rolling back into bed. And I just kept chasing 10, 20, 30, $40,000 a month and it just didn't make me happy, right? And it wasn't until I changed my environment where I actually started socializing, started meeting people, started networking, I actually became extremely happy. I was depressed, I was unhappy. And sometimes we don't realize that we're stuck in this rat race. Although we say, oh, I'm a high ticket closer, I'm no longer in the rat race. You are, because you keep chasing money and you forget the number 1 most important thing, and that is to live the life that you always want to live, to get out there, to network, socialize, do activities, and just be happy, right? So after 4 weeks of being in this entrepreneur house, the biggest lesson that I realized is networking. So during the entrepreneur house, we had 2 different meetups, networking meetups. And again, me being a high ticket closer, I thought, well, how can I level up? What can I offer these business owners that they don't already have? Now, the great thing about being a high ticket closer is what? We're really good at finding problems and solving problems. We're really good at communicating. So throughout all these networking meetings that we went to, wow, do you know the number 1 thing that every business owner is missing, struggles with, has concerns about, don't know how to kind of get out of this little trap? It's how can they increase their sales for their business? Brilliant, right? So having these conversations with them, trying to discover what their largest or their biggest problem is or their bottleneck is, and it all comes down to not knowing how to scale their business by increasing their sales. So through that, in the first week, I managed to get 3 new clients. Now, yes, I do have a done-for-you sales agency. We do build teams for these companies, but they also ask me to jump onto their accounts and start selling for them. So if you are a high ticket closer and you want to start leveling up, my suggestion is you do these 2 things. First thing is get out of your comfort zone, get out of your environment, come to Medellin. Second thing I recommend you do is once you are in Medellin, there's so many masterminds, so many networking groups. Go to all of these and start meeting people. Start figuring out, okay, well, if I'm a high ticket closer, one, you can either start making contacts, you can go to these business owners, find a problem, solve the problem by offering your services to them, or you can become a consultant. You can jump in and be like, okay, well, now I'm going to actually help you level up. I want to analyze your business. I want to see where your chain of sale is breaking, and I'm going to come in and help you fix any broken chains that needs to be fixed for them to increase their sales. The other thing about Medellin, everyone thinks it's dangerous. It's not dangerous. If you come to El Poblado, that's where all the entrepreneurs are. And again, as long as you're not, let me say this in the most direct way. If you're not walking the streets at 2 a.m, sniffing cocaine or some prostitute, you're going to be safe, right? But if you are hanging around where all the other entrepreneurs are hanging around, co-working spaces, co-living spaces, if you go into cafes, if you go into all these network meetings, there is no problem at all whatsoever. It's super, super safe. El Poblado is super safe. If you go outside of El Poblado, I don't know. I don't actually leave El Poblado, okay? Now, the other thing about Medellin is there's so many amazing activities that you can do. I mean, since we've been here, we've been quad biking, on gun shooting, paintballing, wakeboarding, so many things that you can do. It's refreshing. You work hard during the week, and at the weekends, there's so much you can do. So if you have any questions about Medellin, drop a comment, ask me any questions. If you do want to come to Medellin, let's meet up. I'm happy to come, meet you guys. Let's go for a coffee. Let's hang out. Let's network. Let's socialize together. Let's see if we can maybe do some business together. That's it from me. Medellin, again, is on the top of my list. And I think this is where every digital nomad, especially if you're a high-ticket closer, should be in 2020. That's it from me. Peace out.